Hello again. I haven't seen you for the longest time. Are you still stacking physical silver?
Of course. But now that the price is getting near $50, I cannot buy nearly as much as I used to be able to buy.
You are correct. But a roll of silver eagles is still less than $1,000 per roll. That seems like quite a bargain.
Yes. But they are saying now that as silver is nearing $50, that it is near going parabolic, and that it will crash.
Crash. Silver. Ha 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 ho 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 he 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 he. That is hilarious. Have you lost your mind?
What do you mean?
At $50, silver is still the most undervalued asset on the face of the earth.
How so?
Okay. Let me ask you a question. How much gold is there above ground?
I don't know. Some have said there are about 5 billion ounces. Others say 10 billion.
And how many ounces of gold are mined a year?
About 50 million ounces, they say.
And how many ounces of gold are lost or destroyed every year?
Well, since gold is worth $1,500 an ounce, I would say 0.
Correct. So if we just use the last 200 years, and ignore all the rest of the thousands of years men have been mining gold, at 50 million ounces per year, we should have about 10 billion ounces of gold?
Okay. That sounds fair.
So at $1,500 per ounce, how much is all that gold worth?
About $15 trillion.
Correct. And how many ounces of silver are left above ground that are usable?
I am told that there is only about 1 billion ounces of silver left above ground, but there might be more.
How much more?
Well, if you take all of the silverware and silver serving dishes with every other form of silver, you might get 5 billion ounces.
Okay. We'll give you 5 billion since no one knows for sure. But I suspect that the number is much lower than 5 billion. So, at 5 billion ounces, how much money is all of that silver worth?
At $50 an ounce, 5 billion ounces of silver is worth $250 billion.
$250 billion. All of the silver in the entire world is worth only $250 billion.
Yes.
Okay. So let me ask you this. How much money is Apple Computer worth?
The market cap of Apple Computer is worth over $320 billion.
So you are telling me that the value of just one company among the thousands that are traded every day is worth more than all the silver in the entire world?
Yes.
And do you know how much all of the stocks in the entire world are worth?
No.
The market cap of all U.S. stocks is around $12 trillion. So if the U.S. represents around 1/5 of all share wealth, then the value of all stocks in the world is worth $60 trillion. Do you know how much all the world's bonds are worth?
No.
The value of all bonds in the world has been estimated at $50 trillion, but it is probably much higher than that. And do you know the value of all real estate in the world?
No.
The value of all real estate in the world has been estimated at $500 trillion.
Okay, so what is your point?
My point is this. We are seeing the beginning of the awakening of the world's people to the true value of silver.
So what does that mean?
Well, if silver begins to regain its rightful place as money, then it will end up with its rightful place of the world's investment dollars.
Okay. So if silver gets an even share of all those investments dollars, what price per ounce will that be?
Well, you said that all gold is worth $15 trillion.
Yes.
And all stocks are worth $60 trillion.
Yes.
And all bonds are worth $50 trillion.
Yes.
And all real estate is worth $500 trillion.
Yes.
So if we add up the value of all gold, silver, stocks, bonds, and real estate in the world, what is the total value of all of these?
Around $600 trillion.
And if we said that silver should be worth its 1/5 share of this value, what would all the silver in the world be worth?
Over $100 trillion.
And if the 5 billion ounces of silver left were worth $100 trillion, what would it be per ounce?
$20,000 per ounce.
So do you now think that silver isn't a bubble or is overvalued at $50 per ounce?
No. I can see that silver is the most undervalued asset on the planet, and at $50, I will spend every spare cent to get more.
Excellent. Goodbye.